Welcome back to the vlog and welcome back to Seighford Lakes. So it's the end of April now. As you can see behind me, spring is well and truly here. Everything's looking very green, the lake's looking beautiful and fish are getting caught. So we're currently in the lake at Braybrook at the moment and we are planting reeds around this no fishing bank that we've created by removing some swims, which I'll talk to you a little bit about later on in the episode. So guys, if you like the video, please subscribe, leave us a comment down below, let us know what you think. The comments are really appreciated. And we're going to take you back to the beginning of the month where we started off working in the snags at the top end of this lake. I will warn you, the first 5 minutes of this video is pretty much me kind of walking around in the water removing snags. So if you want to skip ahead 5 minutes once you've seen a couple of minutes, feel free to. There's loads of cool stuff going on down here. Things are really starting to come together. Yeah, I think you'll appreciate what we're doing and the good things that are coming in the future down at Seighford Lakes. Right, let's crack on. Hope you enjoy the video. So we're in the snags now, up the far corner. It's very shallow up here, you can see. It's literally just kind of like half a foot deep right in the edge. It gets silty further out you go. I'm not sure how deep it is under these trees over here, but I know the fish spend a lot of time in here. As you can see, it's pretty bad. So many branches going into the water. So all we're going to do is we're going to thin these out a little bit. Basically, do what we did in the other corner and just take everything out that's going into the water. So fish can still get up here, they can still spend time in here, but they're not going to be quite as thick and they're going to be a lot safer. Yeah, so that's what we're doing today. So as you've seen, we're out getting all these snags out in the far corner of the lake, and I'm just stood basically just off the trees, maybe 4 foot or so off the edge of the trees. You can see there, it's up to my waist, so it's a good sort of 3 foot deep here, and it is absolutely rock hard. So it's really silty under the trees. Like I said earlier in the previous vlog, it's quite a silty lake, but yeah, really firm off the front of these trees here. So if you're in the swim over there that's got my shelter up with Ralphie in, you want to be fishing over towards these snags in the corner, sort of 6 foot off them. It's quite shallow underneath them, so you don't want to be any closer, and it's absolutely rock hard. Definitely going to be fish caught from over here. So if you're down, remember that. Right, there's still loads more to do. Let's crack on. Right, I just thought I'd show you what I've done today. So the last you saw was all these snags this morning. They were all hanging into the water. So we've undercut them all. There was so much in here. It's been literally been working over here all day. So I'll just show you. So over here is piles and piles, all those sticks piled up there and there. Branches have all come out from under these snags. A lot of them we've cut off, a lot of them were just in the water. So I'll show you around here. So I've mentioned this lake floods a little bit, but I've been told this is pretty much the normal level. So I've cleared all this out. You couldn't get through here earlier. It's only kind of knee deep here where I am. But as soon as you get off the edge of the snags, it gets a bit deeper. I think I mentioned earlier about how good the spots felt over there. But yeah, undercut all the way around. So if you hook fish off the front of these snags here now, should be no dramas. So there's a peg here, or used to be an old peg here. Obviously it's not going to be, but again we've cut all the ends off there. Just come around and show you the rest of it. So you can see all these piles of branches over here. So what we're going to do is just leave them for now, just let them all dry out, and then we'll burn them at a later date because they're behind this fence here. If the water level comes up again or anything, I'm not too fussed because they're not going to go back into the lake. So that's a job for another day. Getting the snags out is the most important thing. So come around here again, cleared all this out, although you're not going to get fish coming this far back, or you shouldn't do if you're fishing locked up against the snags. I've cleared it all out anyway. These, see that one's just going up and coming back up there onto the platform, so that one's not kind of hanging down, there's nothing underneath that. Like I say, even though it's undercut, I'd still recommend fishing locked up to all of these, just to make sure they don't, you know, come back too far. But if they do get under the trees, there shouldn't be any dramas. So yeah, I've cut back all of these, These are all just overhanging so far into the reeds, it was just a right mess. All this has been raked out. Again, I'm just going to try and let that dry a little bit before I do anything with that. Right, let's take you around here. So again, we've cut a load of trees back over here, although a lot of them weren't going into the water. A lot of them are dead or old trees, and they'll be the next ones that fall in. So kind of just predicting what's going to happen and stopping it before it does. So yeah, around the back of these reeds, you've got kind of knee-deep water. So the carp will definitely get in here. In fact, I've seen one in here today, but not many because I've been causing a right racket. But sorry about this filming, I'm just creeping through all these reeds. Right, so we're through to the next little opening. So you can see there, cut back all the trees going into the water. That one there that you can see is literally just entering the water. And then you've got another platform here, or old platform. Obviously we're not opening up, but... And then all these reeds in here, I've raked back a load of them, a load of the dead ones. Although it looks a little bit sparse now. It'll all grow up nice. All this was raked out. A load of branches out the water, and then a load of the reeds that we've pulled back. Same over here. Looks very sparse. Looks quite different actually. That's the snag that we was working on the other day. I'll show you around there in a second. But you can see all the green shoots coming up. This will all grow back up, and I'll show you actually in a month or two when they've all grown back up again. I'll show you the difference. Yeah, although it might look a little bit barren at the moment, it will all come good. And obviously this is a longer term project. It's not just kind of this season. This hasn't been done for a long time. You know, I'm sure it has been done at some point in the past, but it's been a long time. Yeah, once you have once you get control of it, you do it once, you know, it's in a much smaller job. All the seasons going forwards. This was the snag I showed you the other day. And that's all undercut now, completely, all the way to the reeds over there. It's perfect. So, yeah, really good job. Haven't quite got it all finished. See what I mean? It's flooded down here. It's not out of bounds around here. Obviously, there's no fishing. But if you are fishing in either of the end pegs, you can bring your wellies and your waders, and you can walk around here. And you know, if you're chucking a marker float over near the reeds or something, you can come around and chuck some bait over it. That's fine. Obviously, no fishing from around here. So, yeah, there's a load more up that corner over there to be done. I haven't got all the way around there yet today. It's taken me all day to do this. So yeah, but yeah, good job done. So we'll be back tomorrow. Might be bringing the rods as well. Weather looks good. So we'll catch you soon. Morning, we're back down Seighford. It's another mega day down here. It was very chilly this morning, quite frosty, but the sun's out now and the sky's blue. Looks like we're gonna have a really nice day. So I've got a lad called Josh helping me out today. He's coming down doing a little bit of work. And he's got down a couple of hours before me and got his rods out, and as I was driving in, he's just called me to say he's got one already. So we're just walking around now and we're going to go and have a look, see what he's got. Right, I'll see you in a minute. So here we are, this is Josh. First time I've met him, and what a way to meet him, with a lovely scaly carp that he's just had. So he's had it on a solid bag, chucked over towards the island, just a little bright hook bait with some small pellets up against the reeds. So yeah, really, really nice fish. So I believe this is one of the Ed Matthews stockies that went in here the back end of 2020. They went in as C2s, which are usually between 1 and 3 pound, and this one weighs around 7 pounds now. So considering there's been nobody fishing down here and there's been no feeding program going on yet, he's doing pretty well. So yeah, just imagine that at 20 odd pound. Mega fish, well done mate. Right, let's get some photos and we'll get him back. Wonder why my mind keeps on spinning. This isn't how living to me was told. Why am I like this? Something's always amiss. Can't put my finger on it, but it's there. Wait for it to subside, but my mind won't apply. Waiting for the clear. Is it bad sometimes? I like it when I lose control. Good afternoon everyone. So we're just coming to the end of another couple of good days work down here at Seighford. So after I last saw you when Josh had that pretty little mirror, we came over to the opposite bank, so a bank that we call the grass bank. It's a bank where there's no kind of specific swims, it's just gaps in the trees and the reeds. So we've started building those. We've built 3 so far out of the sleepers and the branches. They're looking really good, they're ready for chip. So it's just the last swim on this bank that we've got to finish now. We also started attacking the reeds and the reed beds down this bank. So they're really overgrown and there's a lot of kind of dead old reeds that are just going to fall into the water and just add to the silt and the debris on the bottom of the lake. So we raked a load of those out and they're looking nice and fresh. They look really sparse, but they'll grow back beautifully, and yeah, it's just a lot better for the lake. So yeah, we've had a really good couple of days, lots of hard work. But yeah, we're going to get the last swim on this bank finished, and then we're going to move on to the last few snags. Also something today that's happened that's been quite interesting is there's been a couple of new fish gone in. So we've had a company come with a couple of new carp, and one of them was a really beautiful 30-pound common carp. So it was a low 30, scale perfect, it was pristine to be fair, and that one's gone into this lake, into Braybrook. So that's the biggest fish in the lake now. And there was another one, a really nice scaly or quite heavily plated 30-pound mirror, and that went into the syndicate lake. So obviously that one's only for syndicate members, but the 30-pound common that's gone into here is obviously in a day ticket lake and open for anyone to come and fish. So yeah, I'll leave it there, and in fact no, I'll thank everybody for all the really kind comments on YouTube about Ralphie from my last month's video. I really appreciate that. He's doing well. We're a couple of weeks into his treatment now, and so far, touch wood, so good. He's got another checkup with the specialist next week. But yeah, thank you for the really nice comments. I really appreciate it, and I'm glad everyone that's watched the last video enjoyed it. So yeah, I'll catch up with you when we're next down, and let you know what's going on. All right, speak to you later. Hi guys, welcome back. So it's Easter weekend now. We're a week on from when we last spoke to you. As you can see, the weather's pretty nice. It's 20 degrees this weekend. Complex is pretty busy. I'm currently sat over on the Syndicate Lake. Me and Ralphie have just had a walk round and just had a chat with a couple of the anglers. Yeah, it's stunning down here. Everything's really starting to come to life. Spring's well and truly here. So yeah, we last caught up with you when we were working on the swims and the reeds on that grass bank. We had that last swim to do. So we got back down and started working on the snags up the far corner. Now these set of snags between the last peg and the reeds were snags that I really underestimated, to be fair. I hadn't had a proper look at them, and they were far worse than any of the other snags on the lake. It was really wet the day I did that work, and I spent 7 or 8 hours in my waders pretty much all day. So basically what I did was went out and took all the overhanging trees from the left-hand margin out. There was literally loads. Dropped them all into the water and dragged them all back, piled them up behind the fence where I put all the last lot, ready for burning at a later date. Once I'd done that, I basically got in my waders and thinned all the reeds out, raked everything back from the margins, and just cleared the whole area up as much as possible. And you wouldn't believe how much it opened up that bank. It made the lake feel so much bigger. So yeah, that was a really good day's work. At the end of that day, I decided to go over to the big reed bed at the back and do exactly the same as what I'd done on the small sets of reeds on that grass bank. So basically break all the dead reeds off and leave it with just all the new shoots. It looks completely different. It completely changes the look of the lake. It looks a bit odd, to be honest, because the reeds were kind of 6 foot high and now they're like a foot out of the water. But it's going to be a lot healthier. All those reeds aren't going to just fall in the water and rot and add to the silt that's already in there. So yeah, that was a really good day, really productive day. So after that, I ended up working on the last swim down that bank. And this swim is a swim that I was really in 2 minds about what to do with, because it commanded so much water. I think I said previously in last month's vlog that the swim opposite would be kind of the main swim on the lake, but I actually think that this one would be the main swim. It's got so much water. It's got the snags, it's got the reeds, it's got the island, it's got absolutely everything. And basically I wanted to split it up so it was a little bit more fair. So I've ended up putting another swim right at the end, which is going to be the Snags swim. And then, so basically I've made it into a double swim or 2 swims. So I ended up moving the fence back, and there was a big pile of earth just to the left-hand side of that swim. And I flattened that out. That took a couple of hours on its own, and basically used that soil to make an area for a bivvy right at the end where previously had been water. So that's going to be the bivvy area for the last swim. And then I started building a platform. This platform was going to be kind of a metre or so wide, and it was going to come back. Took a couple of trees out so we could get the platform in, so we can just kind of make enough room for casting and landing fish and whatnot. Once I'd done that, I decided to get in the water and clear a channel of reeds out. And you wouldn't believe the amount of reeds that came out of kind of like a 3 metre kind of wide area. There was absolutely loads. I started off just pulling kind of the reeds out to start with. Then I thought, I best get the roots out as well, because they're just going to come back. And I probably took 10 or 15 buckets of reeds out of just that small area. But at least I know they're not going to come back up now. And then I started working on the platform, which was something I was really looking forward to. So I put an 8-foot platform going out into the lake, pointing towards the snags. As we speak, I haven't finished it. It's got the posts in. It's got 6 posts in, 4 kind of fence posts and a couple of half rounds on 6x2s. I've got another couple of joists that I need to put on, and then we're going to deck that and probably chicken wire it as well, so it's not slippy. It's going to look mega. I think it's going to be the best swim on the lake. And then I've just got to put all the branches around the back of the swim, and then I've got the main swim to do to the right of that, which was the last swim. So yeah, we had a really good day's work there. And then today, like I say, it's Easter weekend, so the lake's really busy actually. There's sort of 5-6 people on Braybrook. So I didn't want to go crashing around too much and causing too much of a disturbance. So I've come up to the top bank, which is going to be a no fishing bank, but I'll talk to you a little bit about that later on in the vlog. And I started working on the woodland areas. Now the woodland areas up there were, I hadn't really realised how thick they were. They were worse than the first one that I did. Brambles were unbelievable. It was so thick. I don't think I've ever seen brambles as thick in my life. So yeah, you couldn't see through the woods at all this morning. So it's taken me all day. I've raked them all out, combination of the rake, the saw, the secateurs. A lot of sweat, but we've got it all out, and now you can see that it's just completely clear. It looks 10 times better. It looks nice and open and fresh. You can get fresh growth in there. I've taken a few dead trees out, so there's more room for the other trees. The prevailing wind can get through there and get wind onto the lake, which gets more oxygen into the lake. So it's better all round. So again, another really good job done. And I do actually feel like we're starting to get somewhere now. People are starting to notice, and it's nice to see some people down, even though in my eyes it's still an absolute mess because there's piles of trees and branches and reeds everywhere, and I'm kind of a bit OCD and want to get it all sorted as soon as I can. But I realise it is quite a big project and it is going to take a bit of time. So yeah, it's been another really good week. We are back tomorrow as well. We're doing an extra day tomorrow. We might end up doing more wood clearance if it's still quite busy. But yeah, it's going well. Right, I'm going to sign off now, and I'll catch up with you at some point next week. Take it easy. Hi guys, so you join me over on Maze Lake today. So this is a lake that I've not shown you yet, and unless you've been over to Seighford you won't know anything about. So Maze is very different to most lakes in the country, to be fair. It's more of a match fishery. I'm assuming that's what it used to be years ago. It's a beautiful lake. It's about 3 acres in size. It's shaped like a horseshoe, but with islands all the way around, so it's very unique, to be fair. Every kind of area of the lake you come to looks a little bit different, and there's features absolutely everywhere. There's lots of work to be done over here, but this is the lake that we're hoping to get open next. Originally it was going to be next year, but me and Kieran have had a chat and we're going to try and actually get it open or fishable in the next 4 to 6 weeks, hoping to get it finished or as close to finished by the end of the summer. So we will be working on this lake as people are fishing it throughout this summer. So as you can see, it's a mega looking lake, but there is, as I say, lots of work to be done. So I came over here a couple of days ago to basically plan out what I was going to do and the plan of attack for this lake. And the first thing to do really was to load a load of sleepers in the back of the truck and bring those round to start marking out where we're going to put the swims. So drove around here and basically just roughly drove around the lake, putting a sleeper behind all the swims that I thought we should keep, trying to map it out so everyone's got a bit of water, obviously so we can get as many pegs on the lake as is possible for a day ticket lake, so we get a nice balance between people being able to come down and get a peg, but everyone having their own water and the fish not being overfished for. So another rule change that we've made on all the day ticket lakes, obviously only Braybrook open at the moment, is it's down to a two rod only water, other than the syndicate obviously. So on here, for example, that means that we're going to go from 46 swims and 140 odd rods, or whatever that means, 140 odd lines, to 20 to 22 swims and around 40 lines, which will make a massive difference in the line pressure on the lake. So as well as building the swims, the other main job over here really, and the biggest job in terms of the future of the fishery, is to otter fence it. So it's a 50-acre site here at Seighford. The Syndicate Lake and Braybrook are fully fenced, the other ones aren't. Now, there's no secret, we do get otters over here. There's an otter sanctuary not far away, and it's part of modern carp fishing now that if you don't fence your lakes, they will come and they will ruin your stock. So going forward, this lake needs to be fenced. Now, this lake alone is going to take nearly 1,000 metres of fencing, which is very expensive and very labour intensive as well. I'm going to be doing the bulk of that with some help from others on site and possibly some work parties. So yeah, we're going to get the pegs done, we're going to start otter fencing it, and we're going to try and get all that done this summer. I want the pegs done so it's in a position for people to come and fish, and we're going to build the fence around people while they're fishing essentially. So as with the other lakes, we want a bit of understanding and patience from the guys coming down and fishing. Hopefully you'll see and appreciate the work that we're doing down here, and basically the plan to make this place a mega fishery in the future and going forward. We're not completely sure what's in here. There are definitely carp in here. As I've been walking around the last couple of days, I've seen numerous fish, not loads, but I have seen numerous fish up and towards the 20-pound bracket. The water's gin clear, there's lots of kind of pads, and it's like a mega looking lake, and the fish are jet black. So I'm sure there's plenty of originals in here as well, but we are going to add to that stock, and the fish that we'll be putting in will all be small fish. Again, we're looking to the future, but they're going to be fed, they're going to grow, and over the years to come, they are the future of Seighford. So yeah, that's pretty much it for over here on Maize. That's where we're going to be for the next sort of couple of 3 months at least. Back over on Braybrook, I haven't done loads of filming over there, to be honest, because I thought you'd be a bit bored of me videoing myself clearing brambles and basically clearing woodland areas. I think you've seen enough of that on the vlogs. So I've basically finished off the remaining woodland areas on the top bank of Braybrook, cleared all the brambles out of those, which is going to be the no fishing bank. I've mentioned this a couple of times in the vlog so far. So we've done the same on Braybrook. We've taken it from 15 or 16 swims, or might even be 17 swims, down to 11 swims. So we've made the top bank, when you come in, all a no fishing bank down there. The reason we've done this is for 2 reasons really. One, there was just too many swims on the lake for a carp fishery. Again, going back to its match days and pleasure fishing days, there was just too many pegs there. And the other reason was the far end of the lake has certainly since I've been here, definitely been the most popular end of the lake, and for good reason really. There's snags and reeds and that down there, it's a lot more attractive. The other end, there was pegs all the way around, and it was nowhere near as attractive to the carp. So we want to make it so when you come down, the carp are going to move around the pond a little bit more, and they're going to visit all areas of the lake more. You're always going to get a better peg or a better corner. That's always going to happen. You can't stop that. Every lake in the country, you can name a better area or a better peg or an area where fish hold up. That's not the idea, so we don't want to take that away. We just want to make everyone else have a better chance. So we've closed that whole bank up down there. So the other two swims that are the first swim as you come in, and the first one over on the swan bank, on the grass bank, sorry, are now corner swims as well, and they have a no fishing bank to fish to. We've started planting reeds all the way down that margin, so the plan is to have that margin with overhanging trees, reeds and lily pads. So again, it's not going to happen overnight, but in the future that's going to be equally as good as the bottom end. And what that does to rods as well, it takes it from 55 rods down to around 22 rods. That's a max capacity, which isn't obviously going to happen every day. So it's going to a lot less pressure on the fish, and it means that everyone's got more water. So yeah, going from 3 rods to 2 rods, reducing the swims, making sure that everyone's got a little bit more water and everyone's happier going forward. Another thing that we've started on Braybrook is the feeding programme. So this is something I was really keen to get going with. The stock of Braybrook is a little bit unknown, to be honest. There's been fish put in there over the years from different lakes, different stockings. But what we do know is there's at least 100 little stockies that went in 18 months ago. Little C2s, one of the ones that Josh caught earlier on in this vlog, going in between 1 and 3 pound. They're coming out between 4 and 9 pound-ish. There's been quite a few getting caught. So they're doing okay on their own. They are growing, but we want to speed that process up a little bit, and the aim is to get as many of those fish over 10 pound as soon as possible. So week and a half ago we started feeding house pellets, or they're fish farming pellets, we're referring to them as house pellets, and we're feeding those every week along with maize, and we're going to try and get these fish growing a little bit bigger. Now we've also made a rule change that you can only use house pellets on the fishery or on the day ticket lakes. Now that doesn't mean you can't use your own pellets in PVA bags, that's fine, but any loose feed pellets that you're throwing out or spomming out or catapulting out, bait poling out, whatever, they have to be house pellets. Now that's not for us to, make loads of money. It's for the fish to get what they need, and the more of those pellets going in, the better. And of course it'll be an advantage to you because we're putting them in every week. They're getting on them straight away. I've been watching them this morning fizzing up over where I put pellets in. They're getting straight on it, so it'll be an advantage to use that without a doubt. Another thing I've got round to finishing is the new Snags swim. So you saw earlier on in the vlog that I'd built the frame, so that's now been decked out. It's looking mega. There's fish always down that corner as well, so I'm sure there's going to be a lot of fish caught from there. The peg isn't completely finished. The stumps need to be taken out and it needs to be chipped, as do all the other pegs, but it's looking really good. I'm pleased with it. Got some nice comments from it. I think people think it's a good idea. It's going to open that section of the lake up a little bit better and give everyone a little bit more water and give people more options basically in the prime areas on the lake. So the final job I wanted to do on Braybrook was walk the margins of the island in my waders. It was something that was bugging me. I didn't know how deep it was, how snaggy it was, and I wanted to be able to tell anglers when they come down here. So I raked all around the margins of the island, and I was pleasantly surprised, to be honest. It wasn't anywhere near as bad as I thought. I did take quite a few small branches out, a few bigger ones, but it wasn't too bad. It was a lot deeper than I thought, and there was lots of really hard, firm clay patches. A lot of them in front of swims that aren't really getting fished as well, so I'm sure there's a lot more fish to be caught from those areas. Coming away from Braybrook, there's been a lot of work going on around the site in general. The track has been done now, which was a big issue for everybody really. It was terrible. There's no getting away from it. The track was really bad. The potholes were terrible, and it really needed doing. So we had the digger in for the weekend and got that done. I've spent a little bit of time over at the fish farm. So there's a couple of lads here started doing a little bit of fish farming, so buying some small fish, growing them on. A couple of Kieran's mates and Kieran. So I went over there and give them a little bit of a hand grading some fish and just moving fish from one pond to another, which was cool. And there's one other thing I can't really not mention in the vlog. I was really unsure whether to say it or not, but we had a little bit of an incident. So there was a tree that come down over on the Syndicate Lake that needed getting out, and we had the digger here that weekend, 13-ton digger. So it was decided that we're going to go and pull the tree out with the digger. Now, it didn't end very well. The digger was in quite a compromising position at the end. But it all ended okay. We managed to get it out. We had to be dug out. I won't say who was driving, it wasn't me. But yeah, something that we can laugh about now, but at the time wasn't very funny. But yeah, it's all fun and games. But we're really getting on. Lots happening down here. Really excited about the future. Excited about next month's vlog and everything that's going to be happening. So thank you all for watching. I hope you've all enjoyed it. Please give us a like. Remember, leave us a comment, subscribe. Let us know what you think. And I'll see you all in next month's edition of the Seighford vlog. See you later.